Alright, so we got the horrific mutations of the Raven Guard Raptor Marines. Shout out to Majorkill, man, for this video. We got a lot of videos for y'all. It's kind of early in the morning, but let's go to it. Let's go.
I'm back from holiday now. I'm not really feeling refreshed because I was binge drinking every day, but that's all right. It really seems like...
I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you know, I don't mind, like, taking breaks or whatever, but, like, I don't know. It feels good to be back, you know? Like, I feel like I just need, like, a one-day break and I'll be good.
GW had a bone to pick with the Shattered Legions. The Raven Guards all got clapped really hard. And I'm not just talking about the Isfahan Dropside Massacre. The very few survivors of that then had to go through the absolute worst of the worst shit, with the vast majority of them dying horrifically. They all got clapped so hard that evidence of this is still clear in the current setting, with the Shattered Legions having an extremely low amount of successive chapters, as well as not much actually decent lore.
And let's keep it real for what it is, bro. Most of these guys are ugly. You read the title, the horrific mutations. Now, bro, if you're new to this whole, you know, Warhammer game, y'all, let me put you guys on game. Bro, the mutations in this Warhammer thing is no joke. You think you ugly? You think your best friend's ugly? You think your girlfriend's ugly? Let me explain something to you. Bro, if you got a mutation in Warhammer, you're really ugly. I'm talking about down bad, bro. Like, nobody's looking at you. I'm talking about, bro, if you walk up to a girl, if you approach a girl, she's gonna be screaming, bro. Like you done did something to her. That's how ugly you are. Like, you're not even ugly. First of all, you know, God created you, so you're not ugly. I don't care who called you ugly, bro. Don't listen to them, bro. They're ugly, they're trash, they're bum. They're ugly, okay? Other than that, bro, like, you're not really ugly. If you got a mutation in Warhammer, you're ugly.
Arguably, the most horrific example of this shattered spanking was the sabotage of the Raven Guard recruitment program, creating hundreds of heavily mutated borderline chaos spawn Raven Guard. Raven Guard who remained loyal to the Imperium and fought for the Emperor, but were also forced to battle their rapidly mutating bodies and collapsing minds. It was tragic, terrifying, and kind of awesome, making it worth the next 10 minutes or so of your life. Before we get started, I want to thank...
Alright, come on, let's get right into it!
When the Raven Guard got absolutely spanked at Isfahan, with only a few thousand being rescued alongside their Primarch, Corvus decided he wanted to rebuild his legion and get vengeance against his traitorous brothers. To this end, he journeyed to Terra to speak with the Emperor. The Emperor was like, fuck man, I'm a bit busy at the moment, but Corvus started singing Linkin Park until the Emperor was like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Fine, here is the blueprint to the Astarte and Primarch project, a cheat code that...
Yo, but I actually like Linkin Park. Yo, y'all like Linkin Park? I know like a few songs from them. I'm not like a, you know, like a huge, like, you know, big fan to where I know every single album, but like, I like some of their songs, you know?
Will allow you to rapidly create new and more powerful Space Marines. Please do not let the traitors steal it, or we are all fucked. The lore was a bit more convoluted than that, with the blueprint being locked in a top secret facility full of booby traps. Like, some of the custodians accompanying Corvus into the facility were killed by said traps, but Corvus prevailed and got the blueprint, taking it back to Deliverance. The secrets of the blueprint were uncovered, and with it, a new generation of Raven Guard were raised up. These Raven Guard were kinda like Primaris. They were faster and stronger than normal Raven Guard, with early sparring sessions showing these new Raven Guard recruits actually beating veterans. These new Raven Guard were called the Raptor.
Alright, hold up.
At this rate, the Legion could be brought back to strength and make a significant impact on the war.
Alright, okay. Now, I'm not a hater. Y'all know me, man. Like, whenever it really comes to just everything in life, I'm not a hater. I will say this, though. Their armor looks nice. Their drip looks nice. Their fashion looks nice. It's something that I would definitely wear. Now, obviously, let's keep it real for what it is, bro. Like, Vulcan and the Salamanders, they're definitely #1. Like, they're just top of the top, creme de la creme, whatever you want to call it, right? One of one. But I'll keep it real for what it is. I'll give props to when props is due. This is hard. This is fashionable. I can definitely rock this, bro. As a matter of fact, bro, I feel like if I put this on and I walk into the club, bro, all the women are just going to just stare at me like, oh my God, who's that? Like, they're going to be like whispering to their friends and stuff like that. Like, oh my God, what's his name? Like, he should be my man. Like, they're just going to be just, yo, they're going to be like whispering and like, you know, just smirking and just talking about me. Like, if I wear this right here. So, obviously, like, I'll give props to where props is to. Yo, Corvus, you cooked.
However, the Alpha Legion had infiltrated the Raven Guard on Isfahan, locating Raven Guard corpses and taking them. They then had their faces and voices exchanged with the corpses, as well as their armor, and joined up with the survivors that were rescued. There wasn't many, but there was enough Alpha Legion operatives to cause an issue. The Alpha Legion wanted to steal the blueprint for themselves for obvious reasons, hence they stole it and then copied it, but the copy was corrupted. This corrupted copy was used to make another batch of Raptors who initially seemed normal, but then devolved into these mutated abominations. At first, the mutations weren't terrible. Longer teeth.
Like, yo, let's keep it true for what it is. Like Corvus, like, he's already just cracked, respectfully. You know, his face, he's already just ugly. Bro down here, y'all, come on, bro. He look like an undiscovered species. Like, yo, he got a face only a mother can love. Like, yo, no lie, bro. Even if he bro, look at his nails. You can't even dap bro up. If you dap him up, you're dead. As soon as you go in with it, slice, like, for your neck is gone. Like, look at him. Look at his hands, y'all. Look at this. Look, that's his hands. Like,
feathers, beaks, and whatnot. Most of the Raptors could still wear full power armor, helmets, and so on. They also proved their loyalty and courage, fighting against the Alpha Legion invasion of Deliverance and uprooting and destroying the infiltrators. Because of this, they are allowed to live, fighting as shock troops under Commander Bran. It actually would have been okay if that was it. However, the mutations were progressive. Each of the Raptors would continually devolve further and further, becoming larger and more distorted. As an unexpected side effect, they also became significantly more powerful, with their bones jutting from their flesh able to cut through power armor or absorb bolt shells without issue. Despite their physical transformation, these twisted Raptors were paired up in squads with their normal Raptor brethren. They referred to the
hey, respectfully, if I'm a part of like Corvus's, like, you know, crew, I think my face cam's away. Y'all can't even see bro's face right here. But as I was saying before, if I was a part of, like, you know, Corvus's crew, y'all, and we look like these, and this is our new attire, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, Corvus, come here real quick. Bro, I would have hit him right there, and we would have kicked off a fade, respectfully. I'm not ever gonna be dressed up like this, ever in my life. Are you serious? Bro, we...
Raptor Raptors as the Twists. They were given full honours and respect as standard legionnaires. On dozens of battlefields they proved themselves, their ferocity and power overwhelming traitor legionnaires who were genuinely horrified at what they were fighting. Like, imagine you're a word bearer, you've seen some shit, you've done some shit, maybe you even have glowing eyes and small horns from your exposure to the warp. Then you see this multi-limbed abomination with claw and fang charging at you on all fours, loping at you like a dog. You'd barely have time to say a quick prayer before you're torn limb from limb.
Yo, bro, like, bro, the Lord knows. I pray every day. The Lord knows, bro. I gotta get rid of him. I'm sorry, bro. I gotta, bro. I'm not... Bro, I'm not saying no prayer right there. If I see this... Bro, where am I at? 532? Bro, if I see any of these monstrosities coming to me, bro, on all fours, like they Brandon Dawkins from the Prime Eagles, bro, no lie, bro, loading up my Glock like these. What are you talking about? I'm not saying a prayer right there. I'll probably say, I'll say a prayer after. But what? What's he talking about?
However, despite the power of the Raptors, they were not unkillable, and one by one, before you're torn limb from limb. However, despite the power of the Raptors...
Ooh, look at these weapons. Nah, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I can't really talk about anybody's feet because my feet isn't the best feet. But, like, bro, their feet, bro, they got weapons. They got knives down there. They got Wolverine, they got Wolverine little shards down here, bro.
They were not unkillable, and one by one they were dying. This wasn't helped by the fact that most of them wished for death, so they were happy to charge into a gun line and get obliterated if it allowed their brothers time to close the gap. After all, not many Raptors could use bolt guns due to their mutated and oversized hands. There was one Raptor that stood apart from the rest, their leader, Navar Hef. He too suffered from the mutations, but it was his actions that showed the Raptors were worthy of the Raven Guard. However, even a noble warrior like Navar could not resist the darkness of the mutation forever. During one mission, Navar and his warriors encountered a world with a few space wolves on it that were holding back a Sons of Horus force. Navar and his warriors intervened and saved the wolves. The wolves were actually quite understanding and empathetic to the Raptors' mutations, due to their own struggles with the Calyx Helix. When Navar found out these wolves were actually trying to find Corvus to watch over him and ensure he remained pure and loyal, Navar panicked. He believed...
Yo, is this like a video game? Is this like a PlayStation, like, cheat code right here? Like, what are these symbols, y'all? I see a triangle, I see a Nintendo 64, like, you know, arrow going this way. Like, is this like, do you need like 5 controllers to like punch this in? Like, what is this, y'all? Can one of y'all explain this to me?
That they would report the mutated Raptors back to Russ, who in turn would deem them impure and destroy them and their Primarch. So as the wolves approached Navar, offering thanks for saving them and preparing to depart with them, the Raptors fired upon his warriors, with Navar personally slaying the Wolf Lord of the Watch Pack. This act really showed off how doomed the Raptors were. The corruption was seeping into their minds, making them bestial, impulsive, paranoid, anxious, and dishonorable. Navar felt terrible about what he had done, and he ended up telling Corvus. Corax didn't want division in the Legion at such an important time, so he swept it under the rug, but basically declared that the Raptors would be used as suicide kamikaze troops, something Navarre was actually pretty happy about as he sought the sweet release of death. Corvus himself was also feeling pretty suicidal. I'm not joking, the Raven Guard were extremely emo after Isstvan, and he wanted to achieve a glorious death protecting the injured Russ on Yarant. He, his warriors, and the remaining Space Tools led a last stand as they were attacked by elements from nearly all traitor legions. It was pretty epic. Corvus turned invisible before charging into the enemy lines. The enemy couldn't see him, but they could see the dozens of their comrades being shredded apart like they were in a human blender as Corax's wings and claws tore through them. The Raptors were left in drop pods in orbit.
Yo, I didn't even know these claws were like... Oh, nah. Wait, he's a good dude? Yo, Corvus is... He's a good guy, y'all? How? Yo, I'm looking at his wings. I'm like, oh snap, those some cool wings. And I see the fruit punch on the wings. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Basically, the idea was at the last moment, as the traitors were about to win, the Raptors would be dropped in and join in on the suicidal last stand. The fact that they would land amongst the traitors would allow them to cause massive damage in close quarters, as they were all super mutated at this point. Navarre constantly asked the ship's captain when they were being launched, as he expected it to happen minutes ago. However, Corvus realized that committing suicide was fucking retarded, so he instead extracted himself, the wolves, and Russ to safety, cancelling the Raptors' suicidal drop pod attack in the process, something that mentally broke Navarre as he fell to the ground weeping, denied his glorious honourable death. Navarre and a fair amount of his Raptor brothers would actually survive the Horus Heresy, but the mutation had gone so far that they were no longer Space Marines. They could no longer speak or even really think much, so they were locked away. Originally, Corvus wished to cure them, thinking that if the Imperial could be reached and the heresy ended, his father's master of biomancy could cure them and make them normal. But the Emperor wasn't curing anyone anymore, so Corvus himself eventually came to them one by one. He comforted his sons, and then broke their necks. The tragedy of it was that as he entered their cages, they crawled over to him and nuzzled into him. He was their father, and their bestial instincts still told them that.
How can I say this without sounding messed up, y'all? How can I say this without putting somebody in their place? How can I say this without hurting somebody's feelings? Bro, if my father looked like that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I gotta fight him. Respectfully. I gotta fight him. There's no way I'm gonna come out that like just respectful. There's no way I'm coming out the womb looking like these, and my dad is looking like these. Yo, no lie, I gotta fight him, bro. What made you and my mama procreate? What was your thought, bro? Like, why would you do that? I come out the womb, I go to school, I'm getting bullied, I'm looking crazy. Yo, you got a lot of the students drawing me. Like, what is this, bro? I gotta crash out and become a villain right there.
They did not resist as he ended each of their lives. As Corvus came to Navarre, he saw in his son's eyes a noble man trapped within a demonic beast, only ever to be released in death. In only a few years, Navarre had gone from a bright-eyed youth to an eager aspirant to an honourable yet deformed legionnaire of the Raven Guard to then one of their best warriors and commanders. He deserved better than this. Corvus culled Navarre and in turn, a piece of himself died. It's often thought that the act of culling the Raptors is what pushed Corvus over the edge to embrace his inner warp power and become an avatar of hate and vengeance, as it was soon after this that he abandoned his legion and went into the Eye of Terror to hunt traitors, kicking Lorgar's ass in the process. There isn't much of a legacy left behind by the Raptors. They were wiped from the annals of
there is a Rave Guard successor chapter called the Raptors, but seem unrelated.
History with only dark legends of them existing. I do find it interesting how the first pure Raptors were very comparable to Primaris Marines, maybe even more elite.
Yo, Corvus, get these off your body, bro. This is not, like, I understand, bro, you're going through your teenage phase. You already went through your teenage phase, but it looks like you're still in it. Bro, take these off you, bro. The fact that you got, these fake heads on your body, because YouTube, they might, I want them to de-lionize this video, but the fact that you got these heads, these skulls on your armor, is crazy, bro. Take these off of you right now, or I will call the authorities immediately, within a snap of my finger. Stop playing.
And it's also a mystery what the Alpha Legion ended up doing with the blueprint. After all, it was Omegan who retrieved the blueprint, and he wasn't exactly loyal to Horus or even Alpharius. so I wouldn't be surprised if he hid it to make sure the traders could never use it. Horus even ordered them to hand the blueprint over, so the Alpha Legion handed over a corrupted copy that seemed legit but would never actually be able to work. Overall, just a big fat L, especially for the traders who found themselves being confused as they were torn limb from limb by abominations they would expect to be on their side. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then
shout out to Majorkill man for the video. Wait, hold up. This actually looks pretty hard. Shout out to Majorkill man for the video. Like I said before, shout out to Chorus. I mean, you know, out of all the Primarchs, y'all, I don't really know too much about him, y'all. But let's just keep it real for what it is. I would never join his team. He got a team full of ugly people. You know, respectfully. You know, obviously, I want no beef with nobody. But comment down below, man. What do you guys think about this video? I'm still letting some out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel on the road to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Peace out, y'all.